So we're going to start a new project where we're rendering a portrait. So you're going to choose a reference photo, and then you're going to choose one of the following methods for rendering to create this portrait, to draw it. So let's look at some of these options. The first one would be foreshortening. So foreshortening is the illusion of an object receding strongly into the distance or background, the technique of depicting an object lying at an angle to the picture plane. So in layman's terms, showing depth, using overlapping, using size relation, all that. If we look right here, we see this young woman who the camera is clearly like above her looking down, and they use certain tricks, really just observations when they're drawing. Like a lot of times when someone said, if I told you to draw someone from a bird's eye view angle, like people still tend to flatten it out and they try to draw like the whole body somehow. But right here, we don't see the whole body. Like we don't see her neck. We don't see her feet, but we know they're there. Like our brain will put those pieces together. Same with this one where we see like this kid whose hand is bigger than his entire head, but we know that's not actually how it is. It's just because his hand is closer to us, so it seems bigger than his head. So it's stuff we've talked about before, like it's just one of those, like, you really have to sort of challenge your brain to draw what you see and not what you think you see. So that's why you would definitely need a reference photo for this to make sure that you are that you know what you're drawing. It's not easy to draw foreshortening, especially from memory. So let's see, here's another great one. And this one, as far as media, you can use whatever. If you want to try painting with this one, you're welcome to. If you want to stick with graphite, that's fine too. Whatever you choose. If you want to try something else, that's fine. But just let me know. Just communicate that with me. The next method, so the first one was foreshortening. This one is stippling. So that is just the repetition of dots and overlapping of dots to create value. Okay, and having a photo with like a strong expression would be really helpful. But like right here, obviously we don't see all the expression, but we can see all of the dots either spread out or bunched up together and overlapped to create those different values. Same with this one. We see, this is very technical. It's very expressive. You see the wrinkles in his face. You see the the shadows from his hair. And great use of stippling to show value and contrast. And that's something you really want, a high contrast photo when you're taking these. Sorry, that one's real pixelated. We're going to watch this video. I'll sort of talk you guys through it. So, this is like the whole process of stippling. We see this guy, he's got his rough draft, and then he's going to block it in on the final copy. And I'm going to sort of scrub through this. And then he starts making his dots. One thing I'd like to point out, whenever they show a real-time video of him stippling, look at how efficient his movement is. Like, there's not a wide range of his movement. So if you choose to do stippling, that's one thing. Like, these are very controlled dots. It's not just like rapid fire, go as fast as you can. But yeah, this guy really puts in the work. Let's see. Oh, I knew it was going to do that. Sorry, guys. Let's see if I can... There we go. That's what I was looking for. So I'm going to sort of keep going through it. So there's the model. There's the finished product. It's pretty crazy. And I think it's like 3.2 million dots or something like that. And like almost 9 days worth of work. It's pretty crazy. So that's stippling. Let's talk about the next method, microcalligraphy, which is similar to stippling, but you're using writing for your mark making. So we're going to go here. So you have various sizes and layers of writing to create different values. So right here we see this young man with his baseball hat on. We see like a really dark value in his shirt, and even the texture of the shirt, because they've layered it so much, it's nice and smooth, and the writing on his cheeks like follow the contours of his cheeks or the form of his cheeks. There's not really any outlines. It's all created by overlapping of writing. This is a great example. And even like if you look at his hair, like they have like a natural looking texture in the hair because of how they use the microcalligraphy. Like this is a really good drawing. And even look at the forehead with the hat. Like there's certain words that are more legible, and yeah, I think that's definitely intentional. It's cool. So this is a great example right here. This is a bad example. We got these hard outlines. They flatten it out a lot. The writing is also flat. It's like almost horizontal. There is some variation of like size of the writing, but it's still almost the same value throughout the entire thing. And even like in the black areas, like that just looks like hatching. It doesn't even look like writing. So yeah, this isn't the greatest example for what we're doing. This example is just incredible. Like the restraint shown here is really good. So like if you look at the white spaces on his face, like not writing right there, that if it was me, I would have probably tried writing there. And even like on the side of his face where we can clearly read what's going on, like not overlapping that would have been difficult. But I think whoever did this was really good. And look at the hair and like that shadow under the chin, all the overlapping right there. Like it actually like looks like the texture of hair. Like it's good. It's a very good piece. This one is also really good. Look at the variations in writing, like the sizes of writing. That's super good. Like you see some areas where the writing takes up like the whole nose and the whole cheek, and then to make a darker value, you see smaller writing that's overlapping. Like that's good. All right, high contrast. So with this one, you're going to have a 4-color print. You have the color of the paper, and then whatever 3 colors are on top. So if you look right here, you'll see there's that cream color. That's like the paper. And then you have gold, red, and black. And so what you guys will do is when you draw this, and I can help you out with with Photoshop and sort of help you visualize the different values. But essentially you're breaking this photo into 4 different values, and then you're drawing those values in like sort of flat shapes. And then your options are you can make a stencil if you want, or we can do some paper cutting. I do want to point out something right here. Like if you look at the man, there's 4 values on him, but really only 3 colors on the man. The red is in the background. That's not part of him. But on him, there's that cream color of the paper, and then you have the gold, but they break that gold up into, they do a little bit of hatching like in the middle of the shirt, and they create a different value with that. And then they have solid gold and then black. Like that's pretty clever. It's a good move. So this is an actual stencil. The ones we looked at before, these are screen prints, which is a little bit easier to control, a bit easier to control and cleaner. And stencils, this one, you get the texture of the spray paint, and they stenciled it on top of this collage that they made, which is, I think it's pretty cool. Another option for this would be, so this one is stenciled on top of a pattern. So you could do like, for you guys, you could do like, I don't know, if you had like a decorative sheet that your parents don't mind you making artwork on, or like wrapping paper, or I don't know, you can make a collage even and do that. But that's a cool way to stencil. Or you could also do a paper cut. Now, your paper cut would look more like the bottom right, that woman with the dark blue, dark gray, and white. And then you would add another color. So I'd still break it up into 4 layers, but you could stack them and make it sort of topographical, like you see in the image on the top or on the left, how they're like, it's almost sculptural. They're like stacked up. This is very feasible, and I'll go over like how to do that in future classes, but right now it's just deciding whether or not you want to do that. So yeah. And then the last one would be unconventional media. So, like right here we see this Abraham Lincoln made out of pennies. Whoever made it didn't have enough $5 bills. They didn't want to spend that much money. But yeah, I know it was a dumb joke. But the the portrait is made out of like aged or weathered pennies, and that's pretty cool. Or right here we see this portrait of Obama, and if you look real close, you should be able to see that it is like toy soldiers. So it's like a bird's eye view of toy soldiers, which is pretty cool. Right here, jelly beans. That's pretty unconventional. So the whole idea here is like, just if you have a bunch of one object laying around, or if you want to go get a bunch of one object laying around, then this is a cool way to go. So it could be, I had one student use coffee beans, another student use thumbprints. That was pretty cool. Which that might be more like stippling, but anyways, I want to see y'all's creativity in this assignment. So we're not going to watch this whole film, but this woman, let me pause it. She does embroidery, which is, for a portrait, it's kind of unconventional media. Usually embroidery is not quite as painterly as this. So, but she also will show the backside of her portraits, which is pretty cool. So that's something worth looking at. Let's see. I think that's it. So what you guys need to do is find your reference photo. You want it to be a nice, like crisp, clear, high contrast photo, and then you need to choose which method you're gonna do. Are you gonna do the foreshortening, which isn't mentioned here? Are you gonna do microcalligraphy or stippling, or the paper cut, or the stencil, or unconventional media? And then you're just gonna once you figure that out, go turn in your reference photo and just leave a comment letting me know which style you want to do, like with your photo. But yeah, that's today. That's what our next project is. We're gonna be working on this until spring break, maybe even after spring break, but I'll let y'all know more about that once we get to it. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in class, or you can email me. Thanks so much.